Moment. All right.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you will please remain standing for a few minutes to recognize those who have lost their lives in the wars, as well as some local fallen members of our community. Highland Falls Fireman John Murchison and Dolly Baker. Thank you. Yes, I do. First, I would ask anybody making any comments tonight, it is imperative that you do not, I know you want to address the board, but please face the camera. We went to a lot of effort to get this into all the homes, and they can't hear anyone when they face the board to talk to us. So when you do come up to say anything for any comments, please just face the camera. We can hear you fine from here. And that, as well as the board members, if you would please speak up, because they're having trouble hearing board members as well. All right. We will begin with congratulations. O'Neill graduation is this Thursday at 7. Congratulations to all the graduates. The day before, on Wednesday, is the middle school graduation. Congratulations to all those graduates as well. Just a few things in the news. Farmers Market started this Sunday. They had a fantastic turnout. They will be there every Sunday in Municipal Lot number 2 across from Sacred Heart from 9 to 2. The end of the year celebration for students will be 10:30 to 1 on Friday at Roe Park. And the library will be having their annual Colonial High Tea, 4 to 6 on July 2nd. Public comment as regards to the agenda. No? Correspondence. We do have a letter regarding the water sewer bill from Mr. Wyman. Has everyone had a chance to look that over? Yes. All righty. Any discussion on the letter as far as action? Bob?
I guess we're pretty much gonna have to do the same thing we did the last time with the audio.
Speak up, my friend.
We'll find out what his normal sewer bill will be, and then we'll assess it to what it was last month before the leak. So Gina mentioned the normal on that was around 200. We'll have Kevin research that.
Well,
Nice and loud.
for people in the audience that may not know what we're talking about, there was a major leak, and the gentleman has paid his water bill, but he believes that all of the water went through leak holes and therefore didn't go through the sewer system. So he's asking for relief on his sewer bill. In discussion, we had talked about basing the sewage bill on what his normal usage would be, but pending Kevin's inspection, just to make sure that there are no sump pumps that could have directed the water into the sewer system. Have I summed it?
Yes, and
Sounds
what
very
it
good.
required treatment, that's the thing, you know, I mean, nothing, the water didn't go down the sewer, there was no expense to the town. So that's a good point, Charlie.
Okay, we'll take care of that in new business. All right. Department head reports. Department reports. Wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Brown? Oh, I'm sorry, good call. Bob?
Yes, I have that somewhere. Can you read the thing or just?
It's up to you.
Yeah. Johnny, everything's running smoothly down there?
Yeah, running great.
Yeah, and everything looks, it's normal, 0.88 million gallons a day?
The flows are way up now.
Yeah, from
All
the rain,
yeah.
yeah. Did you have to dump any with the rain?
No.
Okay. No, it's business as usual then.
Building department.
Yeah, we got a memorandum from the Town of Highlands Building and Code Enforcement Office. It basically gives us a summary. There were 5 permit applications were received, 0 operating permits were issued, 8 certificates of compliance, 103 physical inspections were performed, 44 complaints were opened, 40 advisory/violation notice and notices of remedy were issued, 6 periodic inspections were opened, 3 municipal searches were completed, 0 zoning variance applications were received, and 0 planning board applications received. I also spoke with Bruce Terwilliger in regards to the grass issue at one of the local businesses as you enter into Highland Falls off of 9W. And thankfully they were able to cut their grass. It was probably around 12 inches high. I don't think Bruce measured it, but we were assuming and guesstimating on how high the grass was. So we're glad it got cut. Thanks.
Mayor's report. Last week, Rolling Thunders, Salute to the Veterans, came through the village. An excellent event. They had over 600 riders, and it was a very nice ceremony. They had at Memorial Park. We had Flag Day this past Saturday. The new flag, for those that may have seen it, new flag was put up at Memorial Park. Again, I'd like to thank those, Mr. McCormick's, if you see something, say something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a crime. It could be something needs to be fixed, something needs to be dealt with, and that was something that several people have come to us after the Memorial Day celebration and said, can we do something on the flag? Sure, and it was done. And I want to thank those people as well. A big thanks to the American Legion for organizing the event, and the Cub Scouts and the Girl Scouts for helping with the burning of the flags, as well as our DPW for getting everything set up. We are working on combining the hazardous mitigation plan between the town and the village. We are in contact with the county on that, and we will update you as we progress. Also, I would like to introduce Ed Bates. Didn't realize he was going to get up, but I am going to. This is another example of one person can't do it. The more people that get involved in the village and the town, the more is going to get done. And Ed is taking on a particular project, and that I believe, as I'm sure many others will, is going to be a great thing for the village. Ed, if you could just come over to the flag, face the camera, and just explain what the project you're looking into is.
First of all, my name is Ed Bates. I'm not a village resident. I was born and raised here, actually born right in the municipal lot behind the town hall when there used to be houses back there. My heart has always been in Highland Falls. I moved out, haven't been a resident in over 25 years. But still follow everything that I possibly can, still visit quite regularly. I have a brother still a member of the community. And I've established a Facebook site, Highland Falls Grassroots. Everybody should write that down and join.
Yeah.
Anyway, there are about 700 members, of which probably 95% are past residents. Roseanne Storms, Tracy Storms, who also hasn't lived in the village for 35 years probably, is also interested in this project that I've been kicking around with the members of my Facebook site. A memorial walkway someplace at Roe Park with paving stones donated by members at a charge, of course. I was involved in a similar project with the VFW in Maybrook, buying paving stones to go around an American flagpole. And the cost was maybe $75 to $100 a stone. Well, through my Facebook page, I have found that there are probably 50 people who don't live here that are willing to donate to this cause to establish some kind of little alcove. Certainly don't envision a walkway all the way around the lake at Roe Park, but something so that somebody, whether they're past residents or living here now, might be able to memorialize a loved one, or maybe an organization or something like that. Through this Facebook site, I have found, like I said, that probably at least 50 people are waiting for me to tell them where to send their money so that they can buy their stone to put in to memorialize whoever it is that they decided to. As I said, my heart is still in Highland Falls. A project like this is very small in the line of things. When I go back and think about what Roe Park used to be and what it is now and what's still left to be done, it's amazing. It's a beautiful facility now. Every time I come to town, I stop and walk there. It's beautiful. One more little addition in there as this memorial, I think, would be a great tribute. And I'd like to be part of it. And tonight I'm here to find out what the possibilities are, looking for village support, perhaps even town support. And I'm lost as to what has to be done, how's it gotta go, about who establishes, how do you collect money. But I just wanted to get the idea out into the community to let them know that people that don't live here still love this little town. And if there's a way that we can beautify a spot, that's what our wish is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
Ed contacted me on Facebook, and I thought this was a great project to bring to the village. Again, for those people at home, it's Highland Falls Grassroots. Get on the page, start talking to Ed about possibilities. We're open to everything. When I actually didn't know Ed was coming tonight, but Pat Patterson and our engineer Todd were in this morning. We talked about this actual project, but what needs to happen prior to is a much bigger project. The lake at Roe Park has to be dredged, and there has to be retaining rods. There's a large project that needs to happen. We are looking into the possibilities of having that funded, and then along with, to coincide with Ed's project. So I was very ecstatic to hear that. So go on his site, keep talking it up, because Roe Park is a beautiful place that could always use a little something. Okay. I had a lot of, over the last several weeks, a lot of questions about the 4th of July. I put it on the agenda for discussion, but I'm going to do it under my comments now, because people are a little confused. The 4th of July has never been run by the village. The confusion comes because the previous mayor was also on the committee, and they thought that, well, now that he's not the mayor, it's a total separate committee, just like Rotary or Vision or any other garden club, any other groups that are in the village. The committee still has several members from many past years, including the former mayor. So that is the group that's in charge of the 4th of July. I did contact, and he's here today, the treasurer. because we hadn't received any paperwork for the 4th. It did come this morning. It is on the agenda to be approved. There were some concerns. If Mr. Fishburne would like to explain a little more rather than me paraphrasing what we talked about. The one thing I would like to say, I would like to thank Neighbors Landscaping. They did donate a large check, but it was returned after talking to Mr. Fishburne. They say they have enough money, and that it was the only donation that was received this year. My only other concern, and we're taking care of that now also, is that the committee has been using the village's tax ID number, which according to our lawyer is not legal. And so we have drafted a letter to the committee to let them know the situation. And did you want to add anything, Mr. Fishburne?
You said it all.
Okay.
And we've been operating the same way for at least the 8 years I've been on the committee.
Okay. With that, we can go on to old business. I did want to take the parking stickers off old business because there were some questions, particularly after the article that Mary Jane ran in the paper. For those that understanding the program, you do not have to buy a parking sticker to park on Main Street. The meters will be there and you can use the meters. We've been approached by many people, I have been approached by many people that have asked for the stickers for convenience. This program is takes care of several concerns for our community. One, for those people that make frequent trips into the village, it takes care, so they have to keep running out. For those people that are at dinner, though there is a 2-hour limit, they don't have to run out every 2-3 times to feed the meter if they're in the middle of a meal, or a meeting, or something to that effect. It would also, I would hope, alleviate some of the change that's in the meters that would allow our police or parking officials to have to empty them more often and then get that to the bank. So it would make the process a little more efficient, I believe, and will bring additional monies into the village. A lot of people, when we brought up the price of $50 to $75, were like, wow, there's no way I use the meter that much. I talked to one of the store owners who got 3 tickets in 1 week, which are $30, and it's worth it to him. I will also be bringing up a discussion as far as parking, the possibility to have 1 or 2 spots set aside for delivery off the main street for some of the businesses, because I believe it's very important that we support the businesses on Main Street as well as all the businesses in our community. So if anyone wants to have any more discussion on that, if no one wants to move forward on the parking stickers, just to give you an idea, if we did set it at $50 for residents, $75 for non-residents, and a lot of people may say, well, what non-resident is going to buy a $75 sticker? A lot of the contractors working on West Point that, again, are coming in 5-6 times in a day to pick up material and going back on a West Point. Again, very convenient for these people that are visiting us that are working, but also the $75 is an additional $75 for the village. So I will leave that for discussion, but I did want to bring that up. If anyone wants to discuss that during discussion, to move forward with it, that's something we can take care of at the next meeting. That's old business. I won't be moving on that because we'll talk about it during discussion. Moving on to new business. The approval of the minutes for May 30th and the regular meeting June 3rd. Any discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, seconded by Jim. All those in favor? So moved.
I have something that probably should have gone under old business on dispatch. And we've got the fire chief here, Fire Chief Rush. I've talked to the vast majority of officers in the fire department and gotten at least an informal consensus that we're lucky in the village to have redundancy in emergency dispatch. And like the town, which has agreed to let the village dispatch if someone accidentally calls the 7-digit number instead of 911, or if something happens and the dispatcher is aware of it happening and aware that 911, for whatever reason, is not dispatching fire or ambulance, that they can be authorized to do so. The fire department definitely feels that if you can save 2 minutes on a call, that's valuable time. The only thing that is paramount, if our village dispatches fire or ambulance, they must contact Goshen, our regular 911 center, so they know that we're on the call and other protocols can be put into place. But I would say that we're in agreement with the town and everyone else about allowing emergency dispatch under certain circumstances here.
That doesn't necessarily have to be an old business item, because we've lifted the village actually put into place that we won't accept calls other than our police department. We've lifted that at the last meeting that we accepted the ambulance. So basically what we're gonna need is a letter from the fire department saying that they are in favor of this, and they are also, because we need to know that it's okay for the fire, we can't make that decision for you. Okay? And then we can just move forward. It doesn't need to be a vote by the board, because we already did that. Okay? Thank you. All right, our next on the agenda is the appointment of the village treasurer. There it is, okay. This is a mayoral appointment. You have all the paperwork in front of you. I am moving to appoint Emma Grada as the village treasurer. Do you have any discussion?
Do you need a motion to go to discussion or?
No, just discussion on the motion before we, actually, you know what? We need to move and vote and then discuss, you're correct. Do I have a motion?
I'll move it for discussion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to ensure that let me backtrack. I believe that it's important for a mayor to be able to appoint people he trusts and can work with. With all due respect, I think our past treasurer has given great service to the village, but with any new administration, you can expect certain changes. I do want to be reassured that this treasurer, will be willing to be compensated at the same rate as the past, and that his expectations of our office staff downstairs is no greater than the current treasurer. I don't want to see existing staff downstairs required to produce a lot of additional reports. And you believe he can live within that?
Without question. I've talked to him about the fact that the staff in this village is primary. And to come into it, we're gonna have to be able to work with the staff. He is more than willing to do that, as well as the compensation. His resume, I find, is very good. He was the acting treasurer for the town, which, so he's very familiar with the work, and that's why I made the appointment. If there are no other comments?
I just have a question. The deadline to receive RFQs for the position of treasurer was May 28th. That was the day that there was a deadline, 4 PM, close of business in Village Hall, and we received one resume. So I'm just wondering, you know, it's I think having a discussion about the position is terrific. I wish we could probably have a further discussion about the position, because it just seems to me that we got one resume on the cutoff date, and now we have another one that's received June 17th, and
Actually, no. The initial letter was received May 28th. It was, unfortunately, I received the letter, Gina was going on vacation, she was gone for about a week and a half. That was the lapse. We actually had talked about it weeks before, that the fact that that letter will be coming. It did come on the deadline date, but because this is a mayoral appointment, as far as further discussion, I have no problem with that, but it is up, as all the mayoral appointments are, it's up to the mayor to make the appointment and the board to approve it,
correct.
not to go through all the different applications. That's my job as the mayor.
So you think the board should have no knowledge of who the treasurer of the village finances are gonna be?
That's why you have this information, Jim, that's why we're voting on it.
I understand, but we're just getting this information today.
9 times out of 10, you get a lot of the information day of the event, day of the board meeting. And that was.
So you think that's the best time to make a decision on it?
Nope, I do not. If you are uncomfortable, Jim, by all means, vote against it.
Okay, so then there's really no other option, we're either going with it or we're not.
Well, if it's voted down, then I will have to come up with another appointment.
So it's all or nothing?
Can we discuss this further? Can this be tabled for one more discussion, maybe executive session? Is this something we can discuss in executive session, or?
It's something we can discuss in executive session. I would like to move forward. It's been, I'm trying to get all my things done. This is something that I wanted to get done so we can move forward. But if you guys, if the board would rather wait and discuss it further, that's fine. I'm gonna move to vote on the appointment. If you guys don't want to, then just vote it down and we can discuss it another time. Do I have a motion to approve Ed McGrady as the village treasurer?
Pat, but before you do it, in case it does get, I would say, let's talk about it, because I think if, Gina, I'm just giving hypothetical, because if you want this person to be your appointment, that's, I'm okay with that, it's as mayor, you're right, I just want to investigate a little more, but if it's voted to discuss it more, that doesn't mean that this candidate can't submit again.
Correct. It's not even about submittal, it's about the appointment. It's not about submitting paperwork, it's about the mayor's appointment. I checked this with NICOM to make sure everything was done properly, because this is the first year that I'm doing appointments. So I made sure with NICOM it was being done properly.
And everything is fine with them as far as the criteria? You mean
Yes.
all the criteria for,
Correct.
okay.
So I have a motion, do I have a second?
We had a second to discuss it.
Okay, well, to discuss, do I have a motion? It was actually a motion to move, but we said
You can
discussion,
still-
so I wanna
you can
make
still
sure
move it.
To get it to discussion.
to vote. Do I have a motion to vote Ed McGrady as village treasurer. Do I have a second?
The motion, is your motion then?
Okay, I'll second it.
No, is the motion your motion to appoint?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then you're looking for the second.
And Charlie, are you seconding it?
I'll second it.
All those in favor of approving Ed McGrady as the village treasurer, we need a roll call, I imagine.
We'll have a roll call. Trustee DeSalvo?
I'm voting no only because I'd like to discuss it a little further so that we can have a better understanding on who's gonna look over the finances.
Trustee Mellon?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
No.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Mayor Lynn?
Yes. Next on the agenda is the appointment of a part-time police officer, Mario Dranisi. Saying that correctly? You have your paperwork on that, or are there any questions?
Make a motion, we appoint the part-time police officer Mario Stranisi at $23.55 an hour, step 5 in the part-time police contract.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have several other part-time positions open, and Kenny is looking to fill those as well. So at this time, I would ask all those in favor of hiring Mario Stranisi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. I have a motion to appoint Michael Murphy to part-time dispatcher.
You have that motion, and disclaimer, he is not a relative, but he's a partner on the ambulance.
Disclaimer noted. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hired. We have a request for facilities, Roe Park Field, pavilion and bathrooms, a tribute to our troops concert. This is something I think is gonna be very special. That is on July 6th, Saturday. TC Selby. You have the paperwork, are there any questions?
I do have a question. There was a request for an ambulance with medics to be on site. Are we as the village
Oh.
insuring the ambulance, or?
By approving this, I don't believe we are guaranteeing them anything. This is a request. By approving the event, we're not saying we're gonna provide 6 ambulances and 8 medics. They can request whatever they want. I will make a note here, and Gina, if you could just make sure they understand that more than likely, an ambulance will probably be there for such a large event, but there is no guarantee that they're gonna have an ambulance or medics.
Yeah, they need to make the request.
Right, they're gonna need to make the request directly to the ambulance.
What about 3 or 4 police officers? They're requesting 3 or 4 police officers.
Well, that's a standard request on any form. They're requesting 3 or 4. By us approving it does not mean that we're giving them 3 or 4. That means that we will deal with their request. That's how I read it. Gina?
I'm concerned we're in the same, I think to clarify that, we're gonna give them the police.
It's gonna be up to Ken Scott,
Right.
the chief of police, how many police are there. And that's also,
It's a request form, they're requesting 3 or 4 cops, I'm just wondering if that's what this is, it's a facilities request information form.
right, we're
So I'm just
approving,
wondering,
we're
do they want,
we're
are we
approving the
approving 3 or
facilities.
4 extra cops?
Right, we're approving the facilities request. What we will do is contact Mr. Selby on both issues and make sure that he understands that that is gonna be up to him to contact the ambulance corps to make sure that they have the proper thing. And we'll have him contact Chief Scott so he understands what the procedure is for that.
Can we motion to table this for July 1st since we have a meeting that day, so we get those 2 questions answered?
Sure. I have no problem with the request form giving taking out these 2 pieces. We can approve it with the exception of these 2. That way he knows he can move forward and isn't waiting till July 1st to get a go-ahead. This is a very, from what he tells me, it's a very big event.
A lot of people.
Yeah, the preparation is a lot. So,
Do you want to amend his request form?
I would like to approve it with just having them contact Chief Scott and the ambulance corps, not guaranteeing him any amount of police.
You can discuss the needs with the police.
Exactly, and the ambulance. We are, Gina and I have also discussed these facility request forms need to be redone because they're very vague. They're excellent for what was in place, which was next to nothing years ago. But these are perfect examples of, it's too vague,
Yeah, I mean.
and it should be, even where it says, sound amplification equipment, people that check yes are expecting
To be there.
it to be there, and that's not the case. That's, are you using any? So we are gonna be tweaking this event form to make it easier and more understandable. But with the exception of those 2 things that we will contact Mr. Selby on, do I have a motion to approve the tribute to our troops concert?
Yes, I make that motion.
Motion by Bob, second by Charlie. All those in favor?
One more question.
Yes.
They gonna be using ball field as well as pavilion, what about the food and everything? They got the food over there? And make sure they're not cooking underneath that pavilion and other stuff like that?
Well, I agree, they shouldn't be cooking under the building, that's not on the form,
Okay.
but it's not on the form for anyone.
Sure.
So, we can include that in the letter for you, Mr. Brown.
So just so I'm clear in the motion, we're taking out the.
3 or 4 police and ambulance on site with medics.
So we're taking those 2 things out?
Correct.
That's in the motion, Gene?
Yes.
Okay.
What are the provisions for not cooking in the pavilion?
Yeah, it can't be cooked under the pavilion.
Well- Well, again, these are things that maybe need to go on the back side of these forms, rules, regulations, and,
They do.
And the reason being,
and they have
Are they?
them. They're already on there, Mr. Brown, so they're on the form they filled out, as far as the food.
reason being because they get a lot of grease spills on the concrete.
Okay, I need to move on this. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We have a basketball tournament on July 5th and 6th at Roe Park. You have the forms in front of you. Are there any questions? Do I have a motion?
Need a motion pending insurance?
Right.
Oh, okay. We have no insurance, so we need a motion to accept pending insurance.
Contingent upon insurance.
Correct.
So moved, pending insurance.
DeSalvo,
That's it.
Mr. Brown, all in favor?
Aye.
So move. Next on the agenda is the EAP Services Agreements. Do you have any questions on that? I'm reading all that out, Gina? It's a whereas.
It's up to you, if you want to, you can explain what it is.
Okay. Whereas the Organization of Corporate Services have entered into an EAP service agreement dated October 1st, 2006. Whereas the Organization of Corporate Services wish to extend the term of the agreement to make other amendments as set forth herein. Now, therefore, in consideration of the mutual covenants and agreements contained herein, and other good and valuable considerations, the receipt and sufficiency of which are hereby acknowledged, the parties agree to as follows. Schedule A of an agreement is hereby amended to add following paragraph. The term of this agreement shall be for a period of 1 year commencing June 1st, 2013, and shall automatically be renewed for a subsequent 1-year term unless amended or terminated. Schedule A, number 1 of the agreement is hereby deleted and replaced by the following. Fees in consideration of the services provided to the organization. Under the agreement, organization shall pay to corporate services annual fees of $1,750. Schedule A, number 3 of the agreement is hereby deleted in its entirety and replaced by the following. The parties agree that case management services shall be limited to a maximum of 197 hours annually. Schedule A, number 5 is hereby deleted in its entirety and replaced by the following. Organization represents and warrants to corporate services that are approximately 59 covered members. All other terms and agreements except as specifically amended are modified herein and shall remain in force and effect. The EAP service agreement is for the employees of the village. It is a service that provides counseling for our employees for stress and other issues they may have. It's something that we've had for several years, and it's we feel that for $1,700, it's an excellent value for us to offer that to our village employees. Any questions? Comments? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Charlie?
Second.
Mr. Brown? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda is the approval of 4th of July events. We can take them one at a time. The insurance is on the back. 4th of July bed races.
Pat, I gave you a new updated insurance form, and everything upstairs, I think it's in your box.
I got it.
Okay. But they're all on the same insurance form.
Right.
That's okay.
No, each event is, that's why I was gonna do each event. The bed race is on the 4th of July. Questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second by Mr. Brown, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. 4th of July concert, Memorial Park, on June 30th. Do I have any questions? Motion.
So moved.
Mr. Brown?
Second.
Mr. Salvo, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. 4th of July 5K race. This is on the morning of July 4th. Questions? Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Charlie. Second.
Second.
Mr. Mellon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Some more. And the 4th of July concert. No, that's the June 30th one. I'm missing the one on the actual 4th of July at Grove Park.
There's two here.
Okay. The events on the 4th of July at Grove Park. Any questions? Motion?
So moved.
Mr. Salvo, Mr. Brown, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We have a request from the fire department.
We're gonna do the parade for.
Yeah, it's all done together, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Thank you. I need a motion for the 4th of July parade. Any questions? Motion.
So moved.
Mr. Salvo,
Second.
Mr. Brown, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you very much. Was that all? Appreciate that. Now we have a request from the fire chief to take an engine 430 to the Hudson Valley VFA on Saturday, June 22nd.
That's to be in the parade, and I will move that the fire company be allowed to take the rescue vehicle 430 to the parade.
Where is that?
Um,
Or the West Glens Falls, the same place I'll be going.
Glens Falls? Okay. So
Second.
Charlie motions, Mr. Brown seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Bills and claims.
Make a motion to pay the bills and claims.
I have a motion to approve the bills and claims. Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Second by Mr. Salvo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You good?
Yeah, good.
So moved. Discussion. Big brothers, big sisters. I want to put this in discussion. I was on the phone with the head of the Big Brothers Big Sisters. In the past, sometimes it's just a formality. We didn't move their money. They haven't come in to fill out a voucher yet because they weren't sure what was going to happen. We have budgeted $7,000 for the Big Brother Big Sister program in the community. But I didn't want it automatically because that was budgeted under youth services and not specifically for Big Brothers Big Sisters. Normally it all goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I wanted to make sure we had full board approval before automatically letting that go. Is there any discussion on that as far as giving the, continuing to give the Big Brothers Big Sisters program $7,000? Any problems with that?
Not at all.
Fantastic. All right, I just wanted to make sure we had,
No motion to.
I don't think we need, I mean, it was budgeted for that.
Well, you said it was budgeted under youth services, so do you want a motion specifically to Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Sold. I'd like to make a motion to give the Big Brothers and Big Sisters the $7,000 allocated under youth services in the village budget. Mr. Brown, second. Charlie Murphy, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So move. Any discussion on the parking stickers? Any discussion? No? All right. Well, I'm gonna bring it up last time, next meeting for a vote. Vote it down, good to go. I did look to find other, and asked around, I did get some information of parking stickers that were used in Connecticut. And they use them not only for their roads, but also for their lots, and they find that it's an excellent vehicle for the various reasons that we have brought up earlier. Again, my main purpose to pursue this was the residents of the community that have requested it. I don't think that there's any detriment to it. Even if the numbers that Chief Scott brought to us for 500 stickers, it was approximately $340. So if 10 people get stickers, then we've already paid for it twofold, and that's just 10 people. So, is there any other questions on this, or any negatives on the stickers?
The fee.
I have a question.
Yes.
On the stickers, if you have multiple cars in the family, can you move that, or how does it work exactly?
Fix your windshield. Well, I'm sure we can move to a multi-car discount. And you only have one car, why are you trying to play it?
I may get another one.
I'm just, 75 hours, I'm just, how many people would be that interested? I guess if you park, like you say, regularly, in your business, you can, I'm just wondering if 75 is a little steep for that.
Well, that's the non-residents, and my biggest thing is that I believe taxpayers and residents in our community, there should be a little more incentive for us. But it's not even the parking itself, it's not the 25 or 50 cents parking, it's the tickets.
It's a convenience.
It's the convenience for those people that have run in for the 30 seconds and come back out, and our officers are on the spot, giving them a ticket. It's that. It's the fact that, again, several people told me I had 3 tickets in 1 week. I had this, I had that. Now, you gotta move your car, or put some more money in the meter. This is more of a convenience for them. At the same time, we're getting the money. As far as, well, then they might want to stay there all day. They can stay there all day and feed the meter. It doesn't matter, particularly if it's a business and they walk outside every hour and put 2 more quarters in, they can stay there all day. With the information that we would give them with the sticker, would be also nice bold letters, 2-hour parking only, strictly enforced, and that's when we would look to the officers to chalk.
The current law now is that you have 2 hours to park, so you can only feed the meter for 2 hours. But my only thing is I'm worried about is that we cut out of the budget to have parking enforcement. And personally, I mean, I'm not against a sticker idea, but I am against having we only have, on like the 3 to 11 shift, we only have 2 officers on. I'd rather not tie them up chalking tires I know you only have to go to 5 or 6, but it's a few hours of them monitoring parking, chalking tires. I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea, but if we're gonna chalk tires, I'd rather pay a guy making $12 an hour than paying a full-time officer $50,000 an hour.
Well,
Because we're gonna have a decrease
I'm with
in
you.
revenue
Actually,
with the stickers.
we've already discussed that with Chief Scott, and the fact that we're actually working on, because right now we are paying someone that much to open the meters and take the money out. We're
Right.
paying an officer to do that,
Yeah,
where we could pay someone half. So Gina and I are actually already discussing that with Chief Scott, working on getting that taken care of very, very soon. And when that is handled, we'll give that news to the public as well.
but that's to empty the meters out.
And to count and deal with it, correct. The chalk, you would have to chalk whether there's a problem or not. That's up to the officers whether they feel that there's a problem.
I just don't think we're geared for a sticker system, but it's not necessarily a bad idea.
I'll hold that off. If there are any other questions or concerns, anyone in the public has any other concerns, we'll put that on the old business for vote for next meeting. Any other discussion?
Just one point of interest, according to the Department of State's website, today was the day that they were going to announce a new round of local government efficiency grants. So far, the news release isn't out there, so I don't know if the parameters are changing, but this would be something that we should look into, especially if we're talking about collaboration on sewer systems and other opportunities to save money and combine forces. So with your permission, I'll keep looking for the application and talking to some people in Albany and find out if any of our projects and studies would fall under that, so we can get funded for it.
Fantastic. And luckily Charlie has actually also volunteered to be in charge of grants, which is fantastic. She did not realize that until she continues to,
Bill Stropel is in charge.
well, as far as the board board, as far as the
liaison,
board is
okay.
concerned. Bill's, of course, and we do have several other people that have come forward and wanted to assist us in that area. There is a ton of grants out there that we are missing because we just don't have the resources to go after them. That's going to be a major goal of this group, is to try and at least pursue them. We won't get them all, but we will pursue them. And along that line, we did receive a letter from Joanne Fazzino from the Orange County Office of Community Development. I'll just give you a quick rundown of this. As per our telephone conversation today, please be advised that we received an award letter from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development announcing the Orange County CDBG Grant Award for 2013. Based on this correspondence, we can confirm that the amount of the CDBG grant to the village will remain unchanged at $200,000 for the acquisition of the Knights of Columbus building. Unfortunately, we do not know when the funds will be available for disbursement to the village. HUD first must issue grant agreements to the county. I have sent an email to the HUD New York field office to inquire if a time frame is known on when the grant agreement will be issued. I will let you know as soon as I have a response. I'm closing an amendment to the village grant agreement from the county attorney's office in addition to provisions contained in the municipal grant agreement. The law department felt that the attached amendment was necessary. So I just wanted to give that to the public. The award did come down. It is unchanged, $200,000, but we are not, they don't know when it will get to us. Public comment. Oh no, announcements, I'm sorry. Any announcements? Announcements.
I just had a couple more actual discussion. Is it free?
Sure, go ahead.
Last meeting, we talked about the Fifth Amendment to the water supply agreement. Are we any further with any of that, to increase the gallonage to the town?
We are, Kevin Hurst is putting that together. We're putting that together, and when we have an answer, we'll meet with Bob and move forward on that.
Perfect. And then the audit numbers for the accountants.
Mhm.
We're not doing that tonight, we'll do that
Not
next
tonight.
meeting? Okay. That was it.
Anything else? Okay, any announcements? We're trying to break this down so that it's easier to disseminate what part of the meeting we're at. So if there are any announcements of upcoming events, things going on, just a simple statement, that's what this part of the meeting is for, when we ask for announcements. Any public comment or questions? In the back.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. My name is Juan.
Oh, wait. Just come on up. Just a reminder, the people at home are having a hard time hearing us. We are looking to adjust the camera, make some adjustments so that it's easier for them to pick us up. But I'm going to ask for everyone that's making comments to not face us. We can hear you loud and clear, but please face the camera and make the comments directly to the camera. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Board. Like to know what, if anything, is being done in the village about the current drug problem that our young people are facing. I want to save lives, specifically young people's lives. I don't see anything happening in the village. Maybe there is, but I don't see anything happening. I'd like to know, Mr. Mayor, fellow board members, what, if anything, is being done. Thank you.
Thank you. I've had several discussions with the chief of police on this matter. We are going to have more public information available as to what's going on, but unfortunately, for a majority of what's happening, it's ongoing investigations and it's information as far as dealing with specific drug issues. What I'm being told to by the chief and the detectives is that ongoing investigations and whatnot cannot be put out to the public. There have been several people that have come forward with your same comments, and what are we gonna do? It's something that needs to be addressed, and we need to get more public with it. Because the less we talk about it, the less attention it's gonna get, and everyone will think there's not a problem. And that, I think, is one of the biggest problems, is that because we don't talk about it, and because we don't say, you know what, there is a problem, that a lot of people, they don't see it every day, so they don't understand that it's still here. It's the same problem it was yesterday. And we do need to see more results. I would have no problem putting together a group of citizens to keep that alive. What are we doing? There are programs out there for communities that they can be involved in to help deal with the drug situation. And I really appreciate you coming forward, because that is what it's gonna take. It's gonna take everyone in the community, no matter what problem is, which this is a huge problem, no matter if it was one person or 100 people, it shouldn't be here. So I really appreciate you coming out, and I have no problem putting together a group of individuals from the community that want to get involved in that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Yes. Gotcha, I'm sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Board, Native Highland Falls, grassrooters. My name is Roseanne Tracy Storms. I was born and raised here, left here in the mid to late 80s. I accompanied Ed Bates tonight to address the idea of a memorial for people that we all loved and lost in Highland Falls, and to keep their memory alive, and also to support Mr. Miranda and his family. But a topic came up, and I had a question I wanted to direct, if it's okay. I know I'm not a native anymore, but my heart is still here, and I have family here. And I'm really excited about the tribute to the troops concert, but life has changed since we grew up, and social media obviously is a big way people communicate. So a question I would have about the tribute and the need for 3 or 4 police and an ambulance would be possibly how many people are expected to attend that function, and whether or not it was an all-out Facebook invite, which has become the norm in kids' lives, to just put it out there to thousands of people, and thousands show up, and the town or the family or the venue is not prepared for that. So it was just a thought I had. It has happened in my recent life, and I was just wanted to point that out.
Thank you very much. Any other comments?
Okay. First of all, my name is Laura Milsom, and there's somebody on the board that has a birthday this week, so even though we're not allowed to legally sing happy birthday anymore, I don't think, I'd just like to wish her a very happy birthday. And I'm really glad she's doing grants, because even though she's denying that she's doing grants, Newburgh just got a grant for $10 neuter and spay for cats, dogs. And I don't know how they got it. I just was told that they did, and that might be something that we could look into, and I would be more than willing to help look into that, because we've got a major, major problem with stray cats. Also, regarding business in the village, Cornwall has a beautiful brochure. I have no idea how much it costs to bring out, but it's got, you know, it's like a trifold, and you open it up, and it's got pictures of Cornwall, and it's got every single business in the village of Cornwall listed. And I think that might be something that our village could look into, because I think our businesses can use all the help that they can get. And also Orange County Magazine that comes out every few months has offered to has offered us free participation. So what we need is someone from the board to contact them and say we're interested in them coming to our village. They take pictures, they, highlight, our businesses, and it goes in and it's completely free to us. And I think that's something that we should follow up on. Regarding crime in the village, this is a near and dear and ever-present issue for us because we live on Center Street and we see what you are addressing daily. We have tried for all of the years that we've lived here to proactively curb some of the crime that we've seen. And we have come up with many suggestions with the previous boards, and we'll continue to do so with this board. I feel that this board is more receptive to some of our comments. I received a lot of resistance from previous chiefs, and I'm hoping that our new chief of police is not as resistant to that. We have offered to put cameras on our home because we're centrally located on Center Street, and our house faces multiple directions. It faces down Muller, it faces the playground, it faces northern facing Center Street, and it faces Liberty. We have suggested that the village get a drug dog, and you don't have to have your own drug dog, although we did at one time offer to purchase one for the village and help pay for training it. But there are other counties that already have drug sniffing dogs, and I can guarantee you, from the way people reacted when our Shepherd Collie mix was alive and we walked around the village, they are very fearful of German Shepherd type looking dogs and don't know when that dog will alert and that's probable cause. So that's some of the things that I think should be looked at. I think that if the village is willing to cooperate with surrounding communities like Cornwall and Newburgh and other areas that have more resources than we do because we're very small, and I realize there's a cost involved to all of this, that it will benefit all of our communities, and maybe we can reciprocate with these other communities in some other way that will be mutually beneficial. There's been some back and forth in the paper about the village employee that was, that allegedly made phone calls that were threatening to the school. And I would just like to say this. It's never okay in my mind to threaten anyone. However, in this country at this time, people are innocent until they are proven guilty. And I think that is one of the greatest tenets of our American society, that you may be accused and things may look really bad, but until you are found guilty by a court of your peers in a proper legal forum, you are innocent. And while the board has been asked to address this, I would just like to say, for those of us that are waiting until the outcome is decided, I think we should have a heart and understand that people make mistakes all the time. I certainly do. And wait until a decision is made on that. On the other side of that, if people feel this strongly about it, in cases where teachers are accused, for example, of sexual misconduct with a child, and they have not been found guilty, there is no decision, sometimes they are given paid leave of absence until a decision is made, and that is something that the board might want to discuss. But the bottom line is, people are innocent until proven guilty. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
I have a question.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Anne Marie Fiducia from Fort Montgomery. I have a question about the Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Could you just go over exactly what they do in our town and how active they are? And I'm not sure if they still have an office up here. I thought they had an office at one time.
They did at one time. They don't have an office here right now. We do have a coordinator that lives in the community. That is where a bulk of the money will go. They get a stipend to be the coordinator for the entire year. The program is active at the intermediate school, Mountain Avenue, basically involving pretty much cadets as big brothers and big sisters to the students at the intermediate school here in Highland Falls. They have after-school activities, they have some trips, they have activities like they do the fundraiser where the cadets and the children usually both go to, which one of the fundraisers, the bowl-a-thon up in New Windsor, and things like that. So not only is it an after-school program, but a mentoring program for the kids. I believe the number I heard was approximately 35 students, 35 cadets involved in the program. Ms. Kozłowski from Newburgh is the main coordinator for the program in our county, and the $7,000 stipend helps to alleviate some of the expenses that they no longer get from the county and state.
So the county cut that financing out?
Some, not all. But the Big Brother and Big Brother Sister program has also moved forward. For those that Tobin's Lane have seen that there is a donation bin that's actually Big Brothers Big Sisters donation bin. They also have opened up a thrift shop up in the Newburgh area. Again, trying to bring in the funds that they're lacking, that they used to get, that they're lacking in other areas. So for us to be able to support them, it's a fantastic program, and they are making a difference at the intermediate school, I believe. So us to be able to support them with this definitely shows that, you know, we support the program and our kids.
So do they do this program all year, or what happens in the summer?
Nope, school year.
Just the school year?
Mhm.
So in the summer, the children aren't getting all this extra help when they probably need it?
No.
The children aren't getting this extra help
That's right.
in the summer when they need it, especially if their parents work and there's no one home, to look after them. So maybe something else has to be done, or ask the county another way to get this program moving again.
Well, that's actually the program as it exists across the state. And actually, when I was involved in Florida, that's how it was. It was during the school year. Because 99% of the time, this particular program is college driven, where they utilize college students and mentor them with the youth. There is other programs where they take anyone who wants to be a big brother, to be a big brother for a little brother. That's a separate program. But this program that they run here is a specific mentoring program that goes on during the school year. But I agree, and that's something that we need to work on a year round. We do have rec here in the town up at Roe Park, but is that enough? Is that enough for the kids that say don't participate? You know, do we need more events? That is definitely something that we have to look into.
Being we're saying how much, there's a lot of crime and other activities going on here, that would be something that maybe whoever has the time to look into it and do something about it.
Thank you. Sure.
They're saying that it's in the purview of if the domain is being disputed, who owns the happy birthday song in the news, so nobody's allowed to sing it until it's decided.
I say we buck the system. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Charlie. Happy birthday to you.
All right, you won. All right.
One more time. Stand up and face the camera, you have to. Those are the rules. Get involved.
I am involved, I've been involved, and I feel like I've been a lone voice in the wilderness here. I was on Schneider for how many years? I don't know. Takes place right in front of my face. It's no secret. Kids have no compunction, and a lot of them are out of town, a lot of them are local. I just have a question for the board. I thought I heard earlier that there were monies in a youth fund of some sort? Did I hear that
Yes, we just
right?
gave them to the Big Brothers Big Sisters.
And that's, it all is directed to
That
a
was that $7,000
9-month
that we
program?
had budgeted for
Okay.
that.
Is there any monies, or is there an official that is a grant writer? Or can research grants? Is there someone on staff in town?
No, we are trying we're trying to create right now, a volunteer staff that could transform into something else. We just don't have the money to say we're going to set aside $50,000 for a grant writer, though most of the time, it pays off.
Absolutely.
Not all the time.
Right.
So the problem is, we can't, with the budget so tight, we can't say $50,000 grant writer, but we do have people like Bill Stropel, Charlie, several other people that have been writing grants, and that are good at it. So we're trying to encourage them to help us out at this time, possibly develop that into a program that we can fund, depending on how much money comes through the grants. That's where we are right now. So if you wanna get in,
Would you see a grant writer winning a grant and then using the money for a specific program that the grant was written for, and being the one to run that program as a conflict of interest? With the town, with the townspeople, with the board, in general? I
I
just
would
want
not.
to kind of get the feel of,
I would not, that's done all the
you
time.
know.
That's done all the time.
That's how it's
As long as
done.
they're legal to get money.
No, not always, it's not always
Has
done
been
that.
doing it for 27
Yes.
years.
No,
She's
I know
actually a
that.
grant writer.
I understand that, but it's not always done that way.
Right, that's-
And since I'm not a
Right.
local anymore, I
Nope,
mean, my
that's-
heart is here, my blood is here, my life has been here.
There-
And I
there
want
are-
to return here to finish what I didn't finish. And I can't do it the way I was doing it. It was costing myself and my partner personal money. And I just couldn't, and then I got but I would like to return. But there has to be at least gas money in it for me to do that, you know what I mean?
There are legal,
Cover
there are very
malpractice.
legal ways, and it's done every day, of exactly what you mentioned.
Mhm.
And that is one of the things that, I mean, that's actually occurring in the village now.
Okay.
That there are people going, whether it's grant money, sponsorship money, whatever, and they get the money and they have the program, and make it happen.
Okay.
That's happening all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am a doer, right?
Get up in it. Any other comments?
Yeah.
Yes.
J. Odell, Old State Road. You made a comment before about the 4th of July funding. You said they're not taking donations this year. Is that what you said, or did I misunderstand that?
To my knowledge, that's what the treasurer told me on the phone. Jim, you're on the committee, correct?
Yeah.
Is that basically the situation, what Mr. Fishburne told me?
Other than the one donation that was sent back, I think, from the person that you
Mhm.
mentioned before, I don't go to every single meeting. My job on the committee is to turn paperwork in once in a while and line the parade up. So I couldn't even say with certainty whether they're accepting all donations, not accepting them. I couldn't give you an answer which way or the other.
Having a discussion with, I would, I'd rather put myself, say what, but have the discussion with Mr. Fishburne, that was basically what he had said to me. I did get a good 10 to 15 people that did tell me that they usually receive envelopes at this time, earlier in the year, and none of them have received envelopes, so I don't think they're doing that program either. My biggest concern was a lot of people are not aware of, one, what's happening, where there was a lot more information given out by now of what's happening for July. This is one of the biggest celebrations that we have in the community, and that's why when we had discussed, we don't have their paperwork yet. Luckily, we talked to them on Friday, and then they got it to us today. So,
Yeah, we met, you were on the committee for 5 years. As you get closer to 4th of July, everything starts to come together. So we had a recap meeting this week, and I usually start to attend as we get closer to the day, because we usually have an idea of what the parade lineup's gonna be, or who's gonna be in the parade. So, that's why most of the paperwork got completed at that meeting, and that's why it got turned in today.
Yeah, well, I'm not, the paperwork, that's on your end. I'm just curious, if you're not accepting donations or if you're returning them, who's paying? Is it gonna be another tax? Are we gonna get charged for the facilities as a homeowner, as a taxpayer here? Is the village or the town picking up the tab of that?
To my knowledge, no bill has been submitted to the village or the town for 4th of July festivities.
So then why would you return donations?
I didn't return it.
Over the last 10 years,
They collected money for the 50/50, they were doing the 50/50.
Right, I saw them, but if a gentleman's claiming he made a substantial sum, donation, I'm confused as to why they would.
Probably be the best question would be for the treasurer to answer that. I
we,
mean,
we have one more meeting before the 4th. I will approach the committee to get some more information, just so we're clear what's going on. Just so everyone's not worrying, over the last 8 to 10 years, or however many years since we were on the committee, we raised enough for the following year. So over the last 5 to 6 years, we were very aggressive with our fundraising when there were several of us on the committee that were raised enough to pay for the following year. So there is money in there, but my only concern now is what'll happen the following year. So I will contact the treasurer once again. I was hoping that he would stay, so if there were any other questions, they could be answered. But we'll ask him. We have a meeting on the 1st, before the 4th of July. If there's any other issues, feel free. Again, we're trying to get the festivals to the groups in town. And again, I would like to thank the American Legion for taking a huge part of the flag raising. Though they're there every year, what's happening now is they're actually taking it over, and they're gonna build it up. And I would ask, please, if you are eligible to be in the American Legion, if you don't know who to contact the Village Hall. These are organizations, they make the events happen in this community. Whether it's the Rotary, whether it's the Legion, whether it's Vision, Garden Club. These are the groups that will make things happen. Again, we're still putting together the Fish and Game Club. We would like to see that resurrected, particularly in this kind of an area. So if there are those people that want to be involved, don't forget, get involved on the Facebook page so we can make something happen in Royal Park. And I am going to push for a community action group to take to task the drug issue in this community. I want to thank you again. And thank you, thank you, and I apologize for running into that.
Just to recap, so on the 1st, there's another meeting.
Correct.
Now, will the treasurer, the chairman, or anybody in the committee be here to answer the questions?
I will ask them. I can't.
No. The other question was, like, there's usually the thermometer to let you know how much money they raised. Haven't seen it, so I didn't know.
If they're not raising money, then
Maybe it's with the flags.
So that's my.
It's on the
public-
way up.
public
Okay.
concerns, that's all.
Okay.
So on the 1st?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to address
Well,
that.
you mean they can't hear you?
Kathy Jones, 17 Catherine Street. Just to address that, you said that there's not information out there. Like Mr. Bates had mentioned, Facebook seems to be the way to go. There is a 4th of July committee Facebook page. There's also an I Love Hama Falls Facebook page, which will give everybody the information of each events and when they are, the bed races and whatnot, so you can get information there. And I do believe that our chairman, Joe D'Onofrio, is gonna get a list of events to you, Mary Jane, for the paper. So that'll be in the paper soon too. But you can go on Facebook and find out about all the events that are coming up from June 30th to July 4th.
My question was on the events.
No, but there was a question about it, about
You made a
information.
comment that we haven't heard, that nobody's heard anything of the events coming up.
Okay. But I will follow
I
up,
asked about the funding, I didn't ask about.
I will follow up on the money.
It's a private club, I mean, check with the club.
It's not private club, if they use the village EIN number, then it becomes a public.
It's not, it's donations that they've accepted to do the events. It's not tax dollars.
No, but if you're using the village EIN number as a write-off for those events, then it becomes a village issue.
Write-off.
If I make a donation to the 4th of July committee,
Right.
am I not allowed to write off on my taxes?
I wouldn't even know, it's an accountant question.
Yeah, that may take it off your taxes.
You write it off on your taxes?
Oh, well, they,
And if I use the village EIN number as my account?
the people don't know what's going on, so, because they can't hear. But in the past, to my knowledge, yes, the people were told they could write it off on their taxes. That is why, because they were using the EIN number, contacted the attorney to find out what's legal and what's not legal. We are moving forward and dealing with that issue. Once that's dealt with, again, we will let the community know. But it's something that shouldn't have been done. According to our attorney, that should not have been done.
It's been being done for years, even when you were on the committee, right?
I didn't realize our treasurer was doing that, actually.
Okay.
Because Joe and Gus were the only ones that dealt with the money.
Okay.
James Grant, Fort Montgomery. I would like, is this the first year that there's no donations being accepted? And is this the first year?
We're gonna look
in.
in.
Is somebody trying to screw somebody, saying, well, we won't have the 4th of July this year because we have a new mayor?
There'll be enough money for this year, there will be. I will ask representatives from the 4th of July if they would be here to answer questions. And if they can't, then I'll ask for any information. But the events are scheduled. There is enough money to pay for the events. There will be a 4th of July celebration. We're just trying to work out the behind the scenes stuff. That has nothing to do with what is going to go on for the village. You'll see it in the paper, it will happen. We're just trying to work out the funding and the paperwork on our end, because it is important.
But is this the first year this has happened? I don't see anything outside the bank like it used to be raising so much money.
They brought that up, and I'll ask that question as well, Mr. Grant.
Yeah. But you're not accepting any donations?
Again, it was a comment that was made.
Who came up with that, to say
Right.
we're not going to?
And he's not here right now, so I can't answer. We were told that's what it was, but I'll follow up with the treasurer.
I find it strange, compared to other years, that nobody's going to do anything. Because you don't want to go around, oh, we missed the mayor, that's why there's no.
Well, let's
No,
not go
I'm
there.
speaking my mind. and
I
that's
understand,
it.
Mr. Grant.
So I'd like an answer, why?
I can't give you an answer, it's not my group.
But you're the mayor.
Correct.
Right?
That's what we started to tell everybody during my report, was that the village is not the 4th of July committee. That, just like Vision, Garden Club, any other group that's in the village or town, we can't dictate what they do, nor can we dictate.
Well, who dictate for the last 10 or 20 years? Every year I come out and see the monitor, from your bank, I always get a donation.
And the
Right?
committee's still the committee.
Huh?
Committee's still the same committee.
But why is this the first year, I'm asking?
I
Is it
don't-
because we
I
have a
don't
new
know.
mayor?
I don't know, Mr. Grant. But not to worry, the celebration will continue, and there is enough money to fund it.
But why was that money sent back?
Again, I don't have that answer.
Well, if
The
you
answer,
don't
the
have
answer,
an answer, who has the answer?
the treasurer of the 4th of July committee.
And who's that?
He was right behind you, was Mr. Fishman.
Oh. Is he gone now?
He left.
Oh, because I definitely would ask him that.
He'll try to be here on the 1st,
Hmm?
on the 1st, July 1st.
What's
Did
that?
another
Another
meeting.
meeting.
Yeah, but won't it be kind of late then on July 1st? If you're only
The
gonna have 4 days to,
festival will happen, that's not an issue. The only thing that's gotta be dealt with is paperwork, and that's really it. And that's not gonna affect what goes on. We've already approved everything tonight. Everything's approved, everything's paid for, it's just that we have to deal with other paperwork issues, that's it.
was it illegal before to solicit donations? This is what I'd like to know.
According to the lawyer, he said yes, and he sent me an email to that effect,
Who's that lawyer?
the village lawyer.
And what did he say? It is illegal.
He told me on the phone that it was, sent us a memo saying that we need to let them know not to use the AM. But now we're letting them know,
Yeah.
we'll clear it up, and there won't be a problem. There was some confusion, as we said, because of the way it's been done. Don't worry, it will be handled.
So the money I was donating all these years, it was illegal.
No.
It's illegal if you write them off your taxes.
The IRS is coming to see you, Jimmy, tonight.
Yeah, right.
I will have information for you at the next meeting, that I can tell you. I don't have any more answers. I gave you all the information I have.
Well, I think that's sad
Okay, sit down.
that, no, we had a dictator before tell us to sit down.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
need that
right.
now.
All right, okay,
You're right.
okay.
All right.
If you're
Thank
gonna
you.
Say whatever you wanna say, Jimmy.
You gotta,
As long as you're in the gathering information, you keep saying that there's enough money for this year, there's enough money for this year. Is this the last year? Do we have another year to come? Like, is there gonna be a 4th of July 2014?
there will be. And that's something that I'll talk to the committee, make sure everything's where they're at, what's going on, and we'll have answers for you on the 1st.
Maybe
That's-
maybe the village and the town should get together and take over this huge
That's
event, since
the
it's the
best-
biggest event in the town and village.
Best I could
Maybe
do,
it shouldn't be an outside agency taking care of this.
what we'll do is we'll have the answers for you on the 1st, because we really need to let the committee answer these questions rather than continue
And I
to
heard Charlie offer to take care of it.
think about what's being done.
This is a good example of why people should join the committee.
That's right, and it was in the Highland Falls News asking people to join the Fourth of
This is
July committee,
exactly
and
what
no
you
one
said
was
earlier,
happy
people
to
should get on
join.
these committees.
People should,
Everybody has a complaint that nobody wants to get on the committee and help do it.
I was
Fourth of
told that-
July
that-
doesn't just happen.
We're not complaining, we're just asking questions as to where the money is and where it goes. And
Okay.
If you're not fundraising, then what is gonna happen next year?
If you're on the committee,
Okay.
you have a say.
Not all of us have the leisure time to join the committee and run these things.
Yeah, but we don't.
All right, all right, guys, stop,
Right, but
please,
you're on the committee as
Jay,
well.
Jay, I understand, but this is not we'll have more information on the 1st, and, I will let you know. The only thing I have as far as, we need to join all committees. Anytime you have, the more input you can give is great. I did get a response from a gentleman that did try, said that he wanted to come to the committee meeting, and was told it was for committee members only, and was turned away. There was also some confusion as to where the last meeting was, because there was another woman that went to the wrong bank. So people are trying to join, but more people do need to get involved either way. We'll have answers on the 1st. I appreciate everyone's concern. Don't worry, the festival will happen. Any more comments? No? Can I have a motion to go in executive session for personnel issues?
Oh, do we have to adjourn this?
Thank you.
Yes.
Gotta go to executive session first. I have Mr. Brown, do I have a second? I have a second. At this time, I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for your involvement. We are gonna move into executive session at this time.
Just have to vote on it.
All those in favor? Against? So, thank you.